Hey, y'all. Keep it simple. 3 words. Keep it simple. Just keep it simple. I think my channel offers a simple nomad life. I keep it simple. I don't have a lot of fancy things going on. I'm not spending a lot of money on my channel where I've got this, I'm moving up in the size of my rig, in the amount of solar that I'm putting on top of my roof. I don't have a refrigerator in here. I don't have like Starlink, and I'll talk about that, which is uber expensive, by the way. I don't have those things. I have a no build out. I'm full-time. If you're new here, I live full-time in my minivan. This is my minivan. And you know, I just love it. I try to make it as simple as possible. I don't have a lot of fancy stuff. No, that would get in my way. That's getting too complicated for me. I like to keep it real and simple. And I think a lot of you follow me regularly and faithfully because you like this kind of lifestyle. You want to keep it simple. My demographics and my analysis shows that a lot of you are older females. And so therefore, I'm going to guess, because I also did a whole series on seniors. What are the demographics of seniors? What's going on with seniors right now? And a lot of us, especially older women, we don't have the resources to be going fancy schmancy. Well, that's me. I bring in, and I don't mind telling anybody, I only bring in on my Social Security after Medicare's taken out $864. That's it. I don't know what this new increase is going to be for January. But I'm going to suspect that a lot of it is going to be taken out. I'm not going to get as much because a lot of it's taken out for Medicare. Because as our stipends go up, so does they take out more from Medicare. Oh, by the way, here, there's your coffee. Cheers. So right now I want to talk about keeping it simple. Now there's a lot of YouTube nomad channels out there that have a lot of subscribers, and because they keep, and that way they can really keep improving what they're driving, adding more fancy stuff on, adding more features, and then that brings in more subscribers. I'm just down here with keeping it simple. I've just got simple things in here. But I really want to keep it simple because it keeps my life simple. It keeps everything up here organized. And I'm having a really good time. I think I'd like to show that in my channel, that I have a good time. I'm full-time in my minivan, and I just love it in here. I keep things down to a minimum, and I keep it simple. This is about, there's a hair on there. It's about as simple as it gets. I have 3 flowers here. That's it. I just some fairy lights around. This is my, I use lighting as sort of a decoration. I don't have art going on. I got a little puppy sitting up there. He's been with me since the beginning. Yeah, he's kind of cute. He kind of holds the fort down here. No, I don't really talk to him. Shh, don't talk. Shh. Just kidding. Yeah, I try to keep things as minimal as possible because I don't like clutter, but we've all been into that. So I'm going to suggest everybody and talk about how to keep it simple so that our lives can be simple and that we can have more fun that way. One of the reasons I like to keep it simple is so I can be stealthy. I don't have a lot of things on my roof. Nobody can see that 100-watt panel. It's a flat, flexible solar panel, 100 watts. It's on my roof. It's taped on my roof. I didn't drill any holes because I don't know how to drill holes on here. And it holds. I use black Gorilla Tape and it holds just fine. And it comes through my window here, comes through here, and goes into my jackery up there. I also have a jackery here so I can plug in my phones. I keep it real and I keep it simple. I have 100 watts up there. That means I'm not going to have a refrigerator. I've tried to have a refrigerator, a 12 volt, in my van. But it crowded me and it completely drained my solar. I had to keep it plugged in all the time. Oh my gosh, it ran down my jackery. Yeah, I couldn't keep up with it. So I decided to keep it simple. And what I do is in here, I have my produce. And I have I do apples, onions, there's some lettuce. This lettuce, by the way, I've had for 4 days. I just have paper towel wrapped around it and I spritz it every once in a while and it's fine. I'm going to have a salad later. I like to eat that way and I like to eat simple. I did find some chicken, the little cans, but over and over I was going to Walmart and I couldn't find the little cans of chicken. I don't like to use a big can of chicken because I can't really eat all that chicken, yeah. And then it's wasteful because I don't have the refrigeration. But I've learned how to keep it simple, my eating. That's good. Now, I'm going to suspect that a lot of you like to also do city life. Medium cities, not huge, large cities. Although some of my friends are in the Phoenix area, and that's a big city. They work there and they live in their minivans. But I'm going to guess a lot of you do minivans and SUVs, and maybe some high tops and some converted vans. And that's how you live. You don't have a tricked out ambulance or a Class B or things like that where you've done a lot of improvements to. That we're just trying to live out here with the amount of income that we have coming in every month. Now, some of us do have to work. We still have to work, and so we definitely need to keep it simple, be in a city. And my yesterday's video was about that, how to save money by living in a city and working and staying within a very tight area so you can save on fuel, you can save on food, you can save on everything. And I also included ways that you could entertain yourself on your days off. So, excuse me, so it doesn't, cost a lot of money and that you could put everything away. For me, I don't know, even when I lived in the house, I kept it simple. I really did. I didn't like a lot of fancy things in there. I'm not that mechanical. I wasn't taught a lot of mechanics. I can build things. I worked for an architect. And so I'm very creative that way. But when it comes to mechanical things, yeah, I really don't know the ins and outs of it. So this is my type of lifestyle. So how else can we keep it simple? I want to talk about when we start adding things on, that things can become more difficult. And with that becomes more cost. So if you're going to keep adding things on to your van and start complicated, I'm not say complicated, but so for some of us it would become more complicated, wouldn't it? That if we start adding those things on, we better have the cash to lay down on that. And one thing I want to talk about is Starlink. I know that seems to be the buzzword out there, Starlink. As a YouTuber, I need to have internet. I mean, I just do. I need to have good cell service. Now, in my minivan, if I had Starlink, a lot of you have said, oh, Lee, get Starlink. A lot of YouTubers have Starlink, the YouTube nomads. Well, there's a reason why they do, right? They've got bigger rigs. They've got more complicated things going on. They've got more fancy things going on in there. They've got a bigger rig, and some of them have started small, but then keep moving up. I've stayed pretty much in my minivan. When I bought a new rig, I bought another minivan. So I don't have the room to be carrying around that big piece of equipment. It's not huge, but it definitely would take up space to get the Starlink. And I will mention that that piece of equipment is $600, $599. To get Starlink, let me explain. To get Starlink, there's a $100 deposit, okay? You have to, for a nomad, they have to travel around. It's not like they're going to be stationary. If you're stationary and you want it, it's $110 a month. If you move around, it's $135 a month. And so it's also with tax, there's $100, I think there's $50 tax, and then there's another $50 fee. I forget what that was for. So altogether, that's quite a bit, right? So you got $600, and I figured it's like $800 to get started with Starlink. But here's the kicker. You can only use Starlink when you're stationary. Well, how many of us move around? So here's what you need. A lot of people don't think about this. I use Google Maps. How am I going to use Google Maps if I can't use Starlink while I'm driving? So you still have to keep your cell coverage, right? And now for me, I do have two phones because I never know. I use T-Mobile or I use Verizon. I know maybe that doesn't seem like I'm keeping it simple, but for me, that's simple. I've got a grandfathered in family plan on T-Mobile with my daughter in Cincinnati, and it's not that bad. And then I have Verizon, because Verizon's supposed to be pretty good here on the West. Sometimes what I found that my T-Mobile might be working, and then if I could drive to the other side of town, and now my Verizon's working. So that's why I kind of need two. That's fine. Because I could be recording with one and answering the phone on another. So that's my advantage, right? So not only do I have to pay $135 a month as a nomad for Starlink after spending all that money and then carrying this big piece of equipment, right? But I also have to afford my cell service. I don't know. To me, that's not keeping it simple. When you're out and about and you're a YouTuber, yeah, if you're going to go out in remote places, I mean, seriously, you do need to have cell coverage because you're going to be uploading your videos. And uploading is kind of a different animal than downloading. A lot of times, uploading might be good, but downloading, you can't stream anything, right? Or it could be vice versa. It's just, if you're not doing a lot of uploading, then you don't really understand that just because you can download something doesn't mean that you're going to have a good upload. Yeah, it's just, yeah. So why do I stay more in cities than going in remote areas? Well, for another thing too, money. I would have to run into town almost every day to upload. But not only that, you have to have enough space in your rig, if you're in a smaller rig, to carry all the supplies you need for a good week or so. Otherwise, you're running into town all the time. So you do save money when you live in a city, and a lot of people might not totally understand that fact, but it's true. Shout out to Tyler. We talk now a lot. He's the one that kind of got trapped in California, and he had a GoFundMe, and we all chipped in and we helped him, and he got out of California. Yay. Well, he's in Phoenix right now. We talk almost every day. He just loves being in a city. It's his thing, just like it's my thing. And I have a great time in here. You watch my videos. If you're with me every day, you see, I love being in a city, and I do have a lot of fun. I'm out and about in the parks, or I'm going to the zoo, or I get to exercise outside. If you're out in remote areas, sometimes it's like, ooh, where am I going to lay down and do my stretching? Well, at the park, I've got good grass, and I'm not saying not every remote area you're not going to be able to exercise, but sometimes it's just easier in a park, and that is so important to me. Restaurants. Yeah, I like to do restaurants every once in a while. Let me take a sip of this. So what else did I want to talk about? Keeping it simple. I think it's a good idea just to keep it simple. Now, what about my solar panels up there? I've got 100-watt solar panel up there. Now, if I was going to add more solar, I mean, I could. I would have to have it bolted in, I think, panel, maybe get, like, I could probably fit maybe 200 solar panels and get two of them. That'd be 400. you know, that would be a choice to have. Sometimes you want to drill the holes and things like that. But if you are going to run a 12-volt fridge, right? Oh, and I didn't even mention on the Starlink, you have to have power. And it can run as much. If you're going to use your Starlink when you're out in remote areas and you're going to run it a lot, you need about 200 more watts, right? I only have 100 up there, and that kind of does me fine with what I need mine for. But so already, you're probably going to be fancy. You already have a 12-volt fridge. You run your electricity. You run electricity through it. Some of you even have air conditioners that you run for the summer. Wouldn't that be nice? You could park anywhere you wanted. And if you had enough solar up there, you had like 600 watts, you could run your air conditioner all the time. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. But you definitely need to have a bigger rig. Yes. And that means a little bit more money. Well, I'm going to guess that a lot of my viewers, your females, your older females, I think it's a good fit for us because we do like to keep it simple and we're not as mechanical. So I'm going to continue bringing the simple life. Remember, the simple life. Remember that? Wasn't that the one with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie? The Simple Life. I actually found that to be kind of a cute show. I thought they had character. I don't mind Paris. A lot of people, Paris Hilton. I don't mind her. I think she's pretty smart. You know, she actually did have kind of a rough life. You'd think, oh, they're uber rich and they have this great life. I will just mention her parents had her kidnapped by these people that take you out into these remote areas to teach you a lesson. She's still kind of traumatized by that. They just picked her up and blindfolded her and took her off. She didn't know she thought she was being kidnapped. Isn't that horrible? So I do like Paris Hilton, but I digress. Yeah. I think she's kind of cool. She's not had it easy. She really hasn't. But as far as me needing solar, what do I need solar for? I need it for my laptop, and it does use it. I need it for my fans. I keep, especially in spring, summer, and fall, I keep my fan on sometimes 24/7. I don't have it on right now, but I do keep it on. Even through the night, I keep it to keep air flowing in here. And it can run a Jackery down. I use it for my phones. I use it to charge up my lights. Yeah. But that's really, by keeping it simple, that's really all I need it for, you know, because my income isn't that great. So if you live that kind of lifestyle, you have to keep it simple. Does that mean we're living any less than people who have more? I really don't think so, because I'm having a really good time, and I know y'all know I'm having a good time out here. So I think life should be fun, not complicated. And I've always lived my life that way, kind of minimal. I don't need a lot of fancy schmancy stuff. Although I do like to look nice. I do like to just, you know, sometimes put on jewelry and enjoy fashion. I do like nice things, but usually I pick and choose what I want to go, how I want to go fancy or not. Yeah. But this is basically it. This is my life here. My bedding under here, lights, good cup of coffee, simple foods. I don't do a lot of cooking. Do my laundry once a week. Just stuff like that. I spend most of my time walking around in the morning at the parks, get my exercising done, get some videos, come up with some ideas for y'all that in any way that I could help you guys live the simple life the same as I do. But I suspect there are so many of you who live just the same as me. And so, in some ways, your lives are even more simple because you even have less money. and you've had to pretty much go into your minivans or your SUVs or your sedans, and because you were forced to do it. Either you can't afford your rent anymore, or your lease was up and you just said, forget it. I'm tired of spending all my money on rent. And I'll bet your lives are even more simple than mine. Because I at least do have the jackeries and I can live that way and keep fans going and things like that so that I don't get too hot in here. So my suggestion for y'all is to keep it simple. I do want to show you something very quickly. Through Night has sent me another flashlight. It's a little bit heavier. This is almost a pound. Look at that. This is $69. It's a TT20, $69 on Amazon, and there's a 10% discount. So go ahead and check this out. It feels good. It's a little bit heavier than some of these other small ones. Like here's one. I use this one all of the time. I keep it right there. Sometimes if I get in my drawer, I like, what's in there? Yeah, because it's early in the morning. This has about 2,800 lumens. The distance is longer than 2 football fields, 282 yards. It's got a back. You can turn it on that way, or you can turn it on this way. I enjoy it's called Firefly, and you just hold it. It's just this is perfect for in the morning, or if you're outside and you just want a little bit of light, but you don't want anybody else to see you. Look at that. It's called Firefly. I really like this, yeah. But if you hold it, and then if you hold it down, it goes down to its lowest, and then I hit it again, it goes up to its brightest. Turbo. Oh, yeah. Turbo. Yeah. TT20. Very nice. It's got the 2-way clip. It always comes with a lanyard. They give you extra little washers and parts for it. It comes with this is the USB, but it's a special USB. So always keep these. This isn't just your regular USB connection going into the device. This goes faster. It comes with a carrying case. You can hook it onto here or hook it onto your belt. Why do I push and do commercials for Through Night? They have great customer service. These people are great. They make great products. I've got a lot of flashlights. Flashlight got hanging up here. Flashlight. I like these little ones. Flashlight. Through Night. It'll keep you illuminated through the night. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keeping it simple. They keep it simple. These are just simple flashlights, but powerful. Keeping it simple probably will keep you more powerful because you've got more brain power to do what needs to be done for creativity, things like that. A lot of artists, I noticed, try to keep things simple because they use a lot of their brain power for creating art, aesthetics, things like that. Well, thanks for watching my channel, and some of you guys are so loyal. I don't have a lot of fancy schmancy stuff. I'm not going to show you how I put in my diesel heater or drilling holes in the top of my minivan or anything like that. I'm more of a girly girl. I'm a tough, I would call myself a tough girly girl. I'm tough. but I'm very girly girl too. And I just keep things simple and aesthetics and like to relax in here. And I like to show you how I live my life. And you can do it too. You can keep it really as simple as possible. There's no reason to get so complicated and fussy. I don't like fussy things. I don't like to fuss with complicated things. And I doubt if a lot of you do too. So until tomorrow, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. One more thing. One more thing. Let me get closer here. Let me get my... This is called Blue Moon. I have 3 of these. It's a real deep blue. It's not black. It almost looks dark like black, and it's got moons, full moons, half moons, and some stars all around it. I've got 3 of these. So go to minivanlee.com if you want these neck gaiters. Hey, these are going to keep yourself warm. Yeah, keep your neck warm, air from going down throughout the winter. I love you guys. Bye.